So here we are. I arrived from Jacksonville, but previously from where?
I grew up in Rhode Island, and I just moved to Jacksonville about almost 2 years, a year and a half ago now. Yeah, came here to slow down a lot. You know, had to get out of the hustle and bustle of the hometown and all that. And came here to raise a family. So yeah, came here to just slow down and enjoy my time here. You know.
And you were a combat.
Yep, I was a corpsman with 2nd Battalion, 9th Marines. I deployed to Marjah in 2010, the summer of 2010, which was, if anybody studied that era of that war, it was quite the time to be there, for sure. A lot of combat, a lot of action.
You got wounded and you got extracted out of the contact.
Yep, so yeah, one of the craziest days of my life, it was August 31st of 2010. It was literally like roughly 24 hours total of just combat. And at the end of that day, it was my turn, and I got shot by a machine gun all at once 5 times. And yeah, it was definitely life-changing for sure. That day put a stain on my life, some good, some bad. But I can't believe I made it out of there. Sometimes I still don't even believe that really happened to me. I still carry a lot of shrapnel today. That's another reason why it brought me to Florida, because the cold, it always would aggravate that stuff. Definitely like this climate a little bit more when it comes to that, for sure, you know. Yeah, it was fun times until it wasn't fun times. That's the way I like to say it.
You met your mates, you met combat veterans.
Oh yeah.
People with the same understanding, same truth.
Oh, absolutely. Especially this week, right? As our friendship has grown, for sure. Just being amongst combat vets that I don't have to really explain too much. It's just the look, you know it. There's a lot of value to that today, because I feel like as time goes on, you kind of put those on the shelf, and then you fall into life, right? And we all kind of get busy, and we kind of, I don't know, I think we stop reflecting on those powerful moments in life, to not keep those on the shelf where you could still access them, but not have it really win every single thing in your life, I guess, is important, you know? So, like I said, I don't want to forget about it, but I also want to forget about it sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So having interactions like this definitely makes it like no one's judging.
Tell us what happened last year, Justin Souza.
Yep, so a good friend of mine who literally was shoulder to shoulder with a Marine. He was an 0311 Marine infantryman. He grew up in Massachusetts, and I'm being from Rhode Island. We actually grew up about 45 minutes away from each other, you know, before we even knew each other, right? Yeah, as I got introduced into 2-9, he had already been an infantryman. I came in as a corpsman. I knew his accent right away, so I was like, "Hey, where are you from?" And he's like, "Oh, Mass." I'm like, "I would have known that." So then it was just like one of those bonds that, you know, you just knew right away. One of our, like, we trained together. We did all the different shootings and things like that together prior to deploying. But then when we came home on pre-deployment leave, I ended up getting introduced to his mother and father, and my parents met his parents, and it was a really cool family unit. We literally never parted. Like, we've grown. We've spoke at each other's weddings. I was his best man. He was my best man. You know, he's my brother, 100%. He's my brother, you know, yeah.
And he had an opportunity to jump with 22 Mohawks.
Yep.
In Delaney, Florida. And you came through 2 hours down the road, came to visit him. And what did you experience?
That was the last, so I just did this class. That was the previous October class. He was in Operation Medusa, and it was actually his uncle, I believe, that was introduced him to this. He was, I forget, I don't know if he was in the Army or if he was in the Marine Corps as well, but he introduced him to that. So when Susan was telling me, like, "Oh, I'm gonna go jump out of some planes," I'm like, "Really?" You know, because he got hurt pretty good too. He hurt his back. He ran over an ID in his gun truck, so he was kind of battling a lot of those aches and pains in his back. He had some fused vertebrae, and I was like, "You sure you want to do all this, right?" He's like, "Yeah." So, you know, so he had the class. I get in my truck. I'm only 2 hours away at this point, so I go down. I'm like, I'm gonna go see him jump out of some planes, right? And that day I went there with a couple of these guys. I was instantly just like smiles. I spent one night at the Airbnb that everybody was at, and I was like, this is the veteran community that we all need, right? And watching him fall out of the plane and do all that, I was just completely taken aback by it. It was something that I was like, yeah, I want to do this. So I get into the next class, you know, ironically, and for us to be able to jump together, it's emotional. It's like, it's just such a powerful moment. You know, he pushed me out. He was the last man off on our stick that we all did with the South African parabats and all that. You know, we're flying through the air, just, yeah, buddy, this is incredible. And we hit the ground, and it was just like, it was like 2010 again. It was just, man, like.
He sent you a pair of wings.
Yeah, so he he had sent me these wings right here in a care package coming home, and he had a I won't go into details on the message on that, but it was something along the lines of, if you put these on, I'm going to beat you up, you know. So he said, when you complete that, you know, put those wings on. And yeah, it was a cool moment for us.
And then he came through and did a jump, obviously.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
jumps.
Oh yeah. So he came back as a strap hanger, and it's just to feel those moments of that thrill of, you know, as thrilling as combat is, as dangerous it is. This was like all the thrill without the, you know, nobody's shooting at us, I guess is the best way to say it, right?
And you were saying when you arrived back home, you sat in your driveway, just.
Yeah, the drive home, I mean, I just had the music going, and it was just like, I found myself on the highway. I'm just looking out the window, just shaking my head, like, you know, what a great time to be alive, you know, and I haven't felt like that. You know, I had so many reasons to already feel that way, but that was such a powerful experience that was like, man, it was the most beneficial thing that I've done since being in combat. That's even involving anything from the VA, anything. That was the most healing, most powerful moment the whole week. Everything, all of us, even us, like I was saying earlier, just having a coffee in the morning, you know, at a table with a bunch of guys that just understand what the hell you're talking about. It's worth so much. I hope everybody gets a chance that really needs it, even if you don't think you need it. Because I was like, I'm good. I have so much to be thankful for. I got a beautiful wife. I got a great dog. I got all these things, right?
Baby on the way.
I got a baby coming, and you know, like I had all these things to be so happy for, but there was just something like it just those explosive moments where it's like, you know, I'm not proud of those, you know, because I've definitely gone down a bad road a few times. You know, I'm not proud of that, but coming back and reflecting on that and then having that experience outweighs all of that stuff immediately. You know, no pills necessary. You know.
So the deep felt healing.
It's not even, and that's an understatement. It was the most healing thing I think I could have ever done, and I didn't even know it. Yeah, getting the wings slammed in your chest and bleeding on it, and it's just like, wow, man, like, yo, I earned this. You know, it was that feeling of excitement to have a goal, do it, and do it, and walk away from it. You know?
And then you were the first group to get Parabat, which is South African Parachute Battalion wings, which are elite soldiers from Africa that fought an amazing war. And you were the first group to get honorary South African wings. How did you feel?
That was just to be in the stick that we had done, where Liam had done the doorman, and just being in that stick and jumping with true warriors and really people who could look at you in the face and understand what and why and how you think that way. Even the stories prior to boarding the C-47, we were waiting on the airstrip in Granger, the taller guy. We would just, you know, the combat banter of like, oh yeah, man, that guy, we were right there, blah, blah. Like it just.
Now he told me in the door, he said to me, Johnny, we're going into a major operation. There's a lot of battle going down there. As soon as you hit the ground, get the mortar team ready. Go into action. And I looked at him, and all of a sudden I just clicked into combat zone. And I went out the door after my son Liam, and Dylan was in the plane filming, and I came out that door, got canopy control, did all the drills, which are amazing, aren't they? They teach you so well in just a short period of time.
It's a lot of knowledge hitting you.
Yeah. And this excitement, and just before I'm about to land, somebody opens up with weapons, and I'm shouting ceasefire, and I'm thinking, I don't even have my combat pack with me. I haven't even got my weapon with me, and I'm going into a combat zone. Firstly, I thought I'm going to freeze, but then I realized, no, it's okay. I'm good. I've got other soldiers around me.
No, that was definitely one of those pucker moments. Because I was in the harness and I'm sitting there and I heard crack, 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 crack. You know, it really was like it kind of. You know, those are the effects of combat. That's really what it is. You're like, you do the same thing. Like, where's my ticket? Where's it? Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that guy, whoever had done that on that land, I think they thought they were doing us a favor, but
No,
they didn't realize.
there's a shooting hill behind. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, they
Bad
were
time
just
to do it.
Bad
Time to do it. Yeah. Well, you get a little ricochet bouncing up or something, you know.
So,
But it was funny looking back. But in that moment, I think we all were. That whole stick must have been.
yeah. And there were a lot of combat veterans on that.
Yeah.
On that stick, South Africans and
Yeah.
Marines, and tell us what a corpsman is.
So a corpsman is in a Marine Corps, like an infantry squad. They don't have medics like the Army. You know, if you're in an infantry squad, an Army, and if they have medics. So that's not my world. So I don't really know those designations. But in the Marine Corps, they don't have any kind of medic training specific to Marine Corps. So ironically, actually, when I was in high school, I had joined the Marine Corps. I wanted nothing more to be a Marine. But at the time, I used to ride dirt bikes like an idiot. I shattered my entire left foot. This is going back to 2000, right? Yeah, 2005. I shattered my entire left foot while I was in the delayed entry program. I had pins and stuff holding my foot together. I was in a cast when I graduated high school. It was a nightmare. Anyway, my delayed entry, they gave me the boot literally because I had hardware holding my foot together. So then I get into the world of electrical. I started doing electrical work. And then the housing market crashed. I got laid off, and I said, well, I can't join the Marine Corps again, so what's the next thing? Navy Corpsman. I joined the Navy, go to Navy basic training. I go to Navy Corps School, which is almost like a pre-med, like a 13-week crash course in pre-med, where it's like you learn everything about hospital settings and some tactical stuff. But then when you complete that, which was very challenging because I had no medical background at all, but I did excel enough to be, I think I was third in my class. So I wanted, you know, you could pick orders by your class and where you graduate. I said, I want Mardiv. I wanted to go to Afghanistan. That's what I wanted because I wanted to be in the Marine Corps. Then you go to field medical training, which is like the real indoctrination to like the Marine Corps, where they give you the camis. You do tactical shooting. You know, all the things that what like a Marine would do, right? On top of learning.
And you're an operational medic.
Yeah, so you learn tactical combat casualty care. I went to the live tissue training where they shoot pigs. You got to keep them alive. Like really, really hardcore training. And then I went to 2-9, so that's when I got to the unit as a corpsman. So now when I get set into that setting with a team, I already had gone through almost basically like 10 months of training before I even get to them. And now I'm training as a rifleman with these guys. So I'm everything on top of medicine. Now I'm doing also the shooting, the shoot houses, all the fun stuff, I'll say, right? Like, oh, we're doing all the cool stuff now on top of the medicine. It's basically a seat in a Marine Corps infantry unit, but you're the only medical personnel in a real operation, right? It was me and one other guy, his last name is Buckles, really smart guy. It was just him and I with 32 Marines.
And you experienced the post-traumatic stress disorder, being in conflict,
Oh yeah,
not knowing how to cope. So what would you advise somebody that's sitting there today watching this thinking, I don't know what to do, I'm thinking of terminating my life, I'm not sure, so what would you advise them?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, you got to never ignore it. That's the first thing, because we all tend to just put it back where it's uncomfortable to bring it up. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to be known as the crazy guy. I don't want to be known as that. So a lot of times you bury it. And I'm going to tell you, I did that to an extent, right? I didn't mind talking about it to people, but to an extent, I was reserved, right? And years of that, it really chisels at you. And it could be something as simple as, for me, it was traffic. If you put me in traffic and you blocked me in traffic, I felt like panic attack. Like I just, just very uncomfortable. So my advice would be to face it. Also take advice, how do I say this without being rude, but like, everybody is an individual, and I think a lot of times, specifically in this country, when you go to the VA, everything is very cookie cutter, right? And in my case, it actually did more harm because I don't like pills. I don't like being heavily medicated.
Yeah.
That's what, fortunately, I think a lot of guys fall into that, and then again, it suppresses that stuff to a point where now you're almost sick, and then it grows into a bigger problem. You know, you could be doing amazing things in your life, and then that one little switch hits you, and you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I, blah, 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 and it explodes. I just think that like things like this program, as scary as it is to jump out of planes, right? It really does. It rewires that sense of like, hey man, I'm still capable despite what happened to me or what didn't happen to me, but I'm still capable. I'm testing myself. I'm amongst brothers, sisters, right? Too. I think there's a lot of healing power in these types of programs. And again, I have experience. I'm on the Wounded Warrior Project list. I've been all over the things. I've done a lot of different things with that. And this alone just sitting at a table in an Airbnb alone with warriors is massively healing, massively healing.
And as a combat medic, they would send guys to you if they had ideation or any issues. You were the first.
A lot of times, in my particular case, and in that era of combat, we were riflemen until someone got hurt. Okay, so like they teach you in field med is that the best battlefield medicine is superior firepower. So if you're shooting at people who are trying to hurt them, you're already providing medical care, right? A lot of times as a medic, that's a tough dynamic because you look at the 0331 machine gunner, or you look at the rifleman, the foot soldier, and you say, you know, that's what they're doing, whatever. But sometimes the medic, nobody checks on doc. You know what I'm saying? Nobody prepares. In my case, right, when I got shot like that, I mean, I was literally on my deathbed. And I had Marines that I literally taught combat lifesaver to, which was a little class we teach, hey, this is what happens, this is what you do. In this case, I taught them that, and they were providing me that care. So when you're in that position, when someone's looking at you in the face like, I don't know what to do, but you know what to do and you know what's going on with you, it's a recycling wheel. It's just like, wow, you know, like, okay, so what I put in is what I'm getting out. And even in combat, though, there's things that are going to happen. No matter what you train for, people are going to get hurt. Things are going to go crazy. That's the nature of war, right? It's about checking in on each other. You have to make sure that everything is going to not fix itself, but also know that, like, hey, man, I hear you. I know why you're here. This is what we have to do. There's power in that, no? You know, I'm sure in Angola, I'm sure it was it doesn't change in that way. You know, the men's mind is going to be the same exact consequences. Like, if I don't take this guy out, this guy's going to take these 3 guys out, right? It's the same thing as a corpsman. It's the same thing as an infantryman. It's the same thing as any kind of combat-oriented MOS. We're here, man. It's cool. It's great to be alive.
Come jump in, come and meet wonderful people like Ryan, my sons,
Yep.
and come in and experience this where healing starts. It's not just jumping, but it's healing your heart. And
Yeah, truly.
we love you, we care for you. Don't do it. Give us a call. Sign up for the lottery with 22 Mohawks. Worldwide Veterans Care. So we're looking at you, looking at us. Come in, come be part of the brotherhood, the sisters. And it's a tremendous impact.
You won't regret it.
We got it. Woo-hoo-hoo! Behind you! We go. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo! We go! What a beautiful jump. What a beautiful life. It doesn't get any better than this, gentlemen. This is what it's about. Pushing ourselves, achieving the unachievable, loving life for everything that it is, and sometimes everything that it isn't. Yeah, buddy. Yeah! That was incredible! Oh, thanks Dylan. Thanks Liam. Thanks John for all your inspiration. Thanks for jumping with me. You guys are my new international friends. And I can't wait to continue and see what this friendship brings for all of us.